long. 1 second. Be right back. Okay, y'all. Okay, y'all. Okay, guys. So I have not been on here for such a long time. Too badly. I have been like hanging out on Twitter, and TikTok. So it's been a while, and I wanted to update you guys on everything. So I was trying to build up my other accounts. First of all, it is September 11th. It is 9/11. So that's, obviously the most important thing is the 9/11 thing. But I just want to say that, there's so many things I have to upload for you guys because there has been so many predictions. There has been so much going on. I know you guys see it in the news, but I just want to say the censorship has been insane. And on top of that, YouTube has been shady, to put it to like a lot of platforms have been shady in general. So I've kind of like stepped back. But then like something else weird happened today. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna hop on here real quick and let you guys know what's going on because this shit is actually insane, and all I'm gonna say is like America has been just so bad, like since the pandemic to now, guys, like under this dictator. And we have to say allegedly because now everything is like being censored. 1 second. My camera looks kind of weird now. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So, from the ICE raids to this shit happening, everything that's happening is just complete chaos. And all it does is just take me back to when I was telling you guys that, there's not much time left to leave America, for those who want to leave because things have just gotten so bad here, like it's just crazy. So I was seeing people literally on Twitter saying that like, oh, if somebody doesn't have our reaction, like report them, flag them. And I was looking at that like, what the hell? Like, what are these people's problems? Like, people have the right to have their own opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody's gonna be distraught like that. Not that no one's enabling anything, but like, not everyone's gonna have the same opinion. You see what I'm saying? So I felt that it was weird that people were trying to force people to feel bad. If they don't feel bad, then you can't force people to feel bad. You see what I'm saying? So 1 second, I'm just gonna try to put some more tags in, guys. So I had a couple of videos go viral earlier this year that I wasn't paid for correctly, and I'm still I still have to like they owe me money, guys. Like YouTube owes me so much money, like so much money. And when I saw that like I did a video about I'm just gonna say for the lack of the video, Mr. T. Okay, we're gonna call him Mr. T. We're gonna call him Mr. T because they're censoring people nowadays, guys. That's why I haven't been on here, is because of censorship, okay? Because I feel like these people are waging war. The way I feel about it is that they're waging war on the American people, on the world, right? Because the entire world is looking at America and looking at what this guy's doing to people, innocent people. And they're like, what's happening over there? The whole world cannot believe that this is what we're dealing with. There's been so many protests, the protests in California, like the No Kings protest. There's been just so many freaking protests that, if you think about it, it's a dumpster fire, guys. America has turned into an absolute dumpster fire. And when I did that video about Elon and Trump earlier this year, it went viral, and I don't think I got a dime for that. And my ads were on. There's 2 major videos I did the top of the year that I did not get properly compensated for. And so therefore I feel like that's a form of like, you know, just I mean, legally, I don't want to say the term that I want to use. I know what the term I want to use is, but I'm trying to like be careful because I feel like I said, there's a lot of censorship going on. There's a lot of takedowns. There's a lot of, everywhere right now. Right now, the climate, the astrological climate is not good. Okay. I don't think it's good for anybody to be, going out in big crowds and big spaces. Like, this is not the time to be out there. You see what I'm saying? Like, we had the blood moon, we had the eclipse. Like, there's a lot of shit going on. Hold on, I have to fix this. This is not the right tag. So I am just disgusted. And every time you think that it's bad, it gets even worse. And then what's even worse about it is they're trying to now tell us how to feel. They're trying to tell people how they should feel. And if they don't feel how they feel, they want to, flag and report people for literally nothing. And they're doing it to people that are not on that are not in their party. Like, from what I can see, even I told you guys with TikTok, like, from what I can see, whether it's AI or it's a machine, I don't know. But from what I can see, guys, it's dark as shit. It's dark shit. There's this Caucasian guy that typically does a lot of like news updates on TikTok that I don't follow, but I do like watch his videos whenever it comes up on my FYP. And he even slipped in there. He was talking about what they get paid, and he was slipping in there talking about, well, compensated is how I see it, is compensation for your time, your effort, right? Your views, your viewership, your subscribers. He was even saying how they were taking down his videos, and the videos that he made were factually based. And it wasn't like he was just splurting out things. Like, the video that guy made was facts. And apparently TikTok took down his video. I had 2 videos I made that were actually of somebody else's content. I was just reposting it, and they put the same thing on my 2 videos. And so all of yesterday, since I'm telling you guys now, all of yesterday and today, the only real videos I could make were videos with audio, with like music, basically. Like, I could put writing on the screen and then play a song, but I couldn't do what I'm doing now, which is talk to you guys. That's censorship, guys. This is censorship. So wisdom is, wanting to engage in these conversations. I mean, I've seen it all, guys. I've not been missing in action. Trust me. I've been seeing everything. And on TikTok, I was, making videos about it. And I'm just seeing like this weird energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, with social media in general, guys, there is some weird shit going on. And it's dark. Like, the whole thing is dark. Like, I'm even seeing, okay, so like there was something about you know Black women, not having a job, people not being able to find a job, college grads. Like, there's a lot of issues with the job report, right? He fired the person. Okay, we know who we're all talking about if we're tapped in here. He fired them, right? He fired the person. And so there's a manipulation of data, there's a manipulation of resources, and there's a manipulation of accessibility. You see what I'm saying? And I've never got an email like that in my life. Not from YouTube, thank God, but a different platform I was on just today. And I was like, this is like so bogus. So of course I appealed it, but I shouldn't even have to appeal it. I shouldn't even have to do these things that I've been forced to do. And quite frankly, from the beginning of time, especially as a Black creator, I've had these issues. And what's even crazier is that now white creators are having the same issues, where if they're, you know, standing up for what's right, they're getting harassed, they're getting threatened. And then when they speak out about being harassed or threatened, there has been countless Caucasian women and men that I know personally who've tried to speak out on TikTok, try to speak out on different platforms about how they're being harassed because they're not crying tears. No one has to cry for anybody. We don't know this person, by the way. Okay. Any celebrity, any podcaster, which, you know, anybody out here on social media, we don't know these people personally. So I find it odd in general when, okay, for example, when Taylor Swift got engaged to and by the way, I'm not even sure if they're even playing ads, guys, because like I said, if those who just joined, I had 2 major videos go viral at the top of the year that I was not properly compensated for. And quite frankly, until I get that proper compensation, I'm not going to be over investing my time, because I feel like YouTube is, these platforms, guys, bottom line, censorship, okay? If they don't like that you're talking about something that has facts or a different opinion than what they want to push out there in the algorithm, they're going to try to mess you up. Okay, so as I can see on my end, I see an advertisement, but is it accounted for? I don't know. You know, who knows these are what they're pulling, what tricks they're pulling. But for example, right, here goes with another weird, you know, social media example was when Taylor Swift got engaged to that guy, right? I don't even know his name is. That's how much I don't even care. But basically, on every morning show, on every network, every celebrity that came up that was talking about their movie or talking about their press tour, or talking about actual like valuable shit, here comes these people asking these people, what do you think about Taylor Swift getting engaged? And another Caucasian older gentleman, I think his name was Larry something, not Stephen Colbert, another guy, he was like, I don't give a shit about Taylor Swift. And they kept trying to force him to talk about Taylor Swift. So I'm just saying, guys, there's something odd going on, okay? Like, people, they're trying to like, this Matrix shit is crazy. This Matrix shit is, guys, is insane. Like, this Matrix shit is insane, because if you have even Caucasian celebrities saying, I don't give a shit about Taylor Swift, I don't care if she got engaged, and they're like cutting their airtime, they're literally taking them off the air, because why? They're not falling for the propaganda. They're not talking about shit that they don't want to talk about. They rather talk about genocides, right? They're happening right now in the Congo, they're happening in Gaza. They want to talk about substantive issues, but these platforms want people to stay quiet. As I said, I was silenced myself. I could not upload literally any videos talking like this on TikTok yesterday. The whole day, I was not able to talk. So even if I wanted to go on video and say RIP to so and so, I couldn't do that. Because the second that you put a certain hashtag, or the second that they think they see that, you know, they see a black woman, people that are haters will automatically go to those little toggles they have and put report. And then they're trying to fuck. So basically, guys, this is why I've not been online. It's not because I don't want to be online. It's not because I don't have something to say. I have plenty to say. Okay? I have plenty to say. But I've realized that we can't talk because we're in a dictatorship. That's what I've realized. And I think that, you know, that's the nicest way I could put it, is we are in a dictatorship. And the fact that you can't even say you're in a dictatorship shows that you're in a dictatorship, because if you're under control and you're not under control, you should be able to say that. See, I can't even say that. So to me, and just so you guys know, just so I want to put people on edge, I've not been legally warned about anything. Just to put this out here, okay? And maybe I need to be more specific in the description. Yeah, let me just, yeah, I just updated the description. So in the spiritual community especially, right? I don't know. I honestly, I've been so busy with work. I've been so busy with trying to get the fuck out of America. I'm not going to lie to you guys, or out of the state that I'm in. Like, I'm in a red state, not by choice, right? To put it more bluntly. So I've been trying to work on my financial situation, my education, my well-being, my health, right? Which means like getting good sleep, because all the full moons, all the eclipse energy, all the retrograde, we just had a Mercury retrograde, I think, what was it? Either before August or in August, that was intense as hell, right? The Schumann resonance, we have so much going on. We have so much going on, guys, right? So when I'm not on here like I want to, I'm taking care of business to be able to in the future come back on here full-fledged, more, give you guys more of my time. But I want you guys to know that this is very, very I can't even, I'm not scared, so I can't use the word scared. I'm trying to find a better word. Like, this is very unsettling. Yeah, okay. What I will say is this is very unsettling, because when that happened today to me, I'm like, okay, I had that account over 10 years, 10 years, and never received an email about nothing to do with that in all my life. And I went back and looked and there was nothing there. And then come to find out, probably a troll or a hater put impersonation. Now, impersonating what? I don't know. So that I should be able to beat that, okay? But I'm just, and a lot of you guys out here have experienced this as well. I mean, maybe I'm just kind of talking to a wall, because in reality, a lot of people have already experienced what I'm talking about. So it's one thing if you've experienced it, it's another if you haven't, right? Or you've observed it. But a lot of people have experienced this, where if they don't talk about, even back from when I started my YouTube channel, guys, on any social media platform, if you don't talk about things they want you to talk about in a certain way, back then, they would just not monetize the video. Now they're skipping all that. Now they're just gonna like shut you down. There is no warning, there is no fix it. It's just straight for the jugular. And I think that especially ethnic creators, women, basically anybody who's not on that side has to be aware of that, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be aware that there's people out here who want to do you harm. I can't put it, I'm sorry guys, but I can't put it any nicer. Like, there's people out here who want to purposely do damage. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when that one video, it was green, but it wasn't, like, I know what I get paid for certain views, right? I've been on YouTube for more than 5 years, right? When that one particular video where I talked about Elon and Trump, about it was a very short video. I think it was actually shorter than probably this video is going to be. And when I realized that my compensation did not match the viewership that I had, like thousands and thousands of views, I was like, these people are gonna try to get me. And I'm not trying to spook anybody, but like, that's what I feel in my spirit, is that they're trying to use, if they even see a word, right, that they don't like, they're gonna try to take you down. And it's sad, but it's true, guys. It's sad, but it's true. I wasn't even on Twitter that long before that shit happened, and I was trying to see a tweet, like a original tweet, and they had a quote tweet, and the post was gone. I repeat, the post was gone, which means somebody either reported them, and it was nothing bad. There was no profanity. There was no bad image. It was like a sentence, a basic sentence, and a quote tweet. And on the quote tweet, it was a GIF, like a meme, like a meme video, It was harmless. And I would not sit up here and lie to you guys and tell you that it wasn't what it was. It was literally harmless. It was basic social media. And the person was gone. So there is people out here who are a part of the Red Hat crew, and they're trying to, because of what happened to this guy at the university, they're trying to attack all of us. So is it safe to post right now? I don't think so. Is it safe to give your opinion? I don't think so, unfortunately. And I don't recall there being any time in history where if a celebrity passes away, people can't talk about it. I don't know what that's about. You know what I'm saying? No one is saying, especially if what they're saying is not derogatory, there's no profanity, right? Then why is it an issue? Like, if there's nothing that is negative, then why are people disappearing? Why are posts disappearing? Why are people not getting monetized? Why are they like if this is not a dictatorship, then why is it behaving that way? Is what I'm saying. Why is it behaving that way? You know, this guy bought his way through like he does everything else in his life. He paid his way through. And that's their model, is bully their way through, pay their way through, harass their way through. And when the script gets flipped, the same terminology that they're doing, they use on us. They use on people that are calling it out. And that's what's crazy to me, is like people can have a basic opinion and they're having to use code words. Like, when since are we on social media having to use code words? Like, what? Like, this makes no sense, guys. Okay? So we're in the age of Aquarius, right? We are in the age of Aquarius. I don't know how to feel. I'm not gonna lie to you. After what's been happening, I've been seeing out here, I'm just like, I don't know anymore, guys. I don't know anymore. Everything is super strange. Everything is super strange. Nothing is the same. Nothing has been the same. America, economically, morally, substantially, is far worse now than under his first term. We're in the gutter. America is in the gutter as a country, in a complete shit pit. And before, when I remember when YouTube just started, you could curse a little bit. I don't think there was ever even any restriction. Like, if you watched a movie clip, like let's say for example you wanted to watch a movie, or you wanted to look up a funny video and maybe a comedian curses a little bit, like if they're doing stand-up comedy or you're watching a funny movie, like they're not going to censor that. Now they know you're an adult, you're signed into your account as an adult, and they're censoring cursing. And if they themselves curse in their own video on their own channel, they want you, just so you guys know how this works, they want you to go to the creator studio, go to the options, and tell them that you cursed on the video. Why would I do that? Why are we doing that? Why is now AI is surveillancing us as well? And I'm looking at the quality of my video, and the quality of my video does not match what I'm seeing on my end, guys, just so you know, because I'm watching on my computer. Look, I can prove it. Look, it's like pixels. So if the quality of this, let me just clean the camera. If the quality of what they're showing with me is pixels and grainy, that's on purpose. Because on camera, let me do it again. On camera, see it's pixely again. So anyway, you guys know the deal. I'm just telling you guys what's going on. So yeah, I'll never forget when Kobe Bryant passed away. I'll never forget. That was when I knew that this whole social media shit was cooked. This whole shit's cooked, guys. That's when I knew that something was wrong, because the icon of my monetization was yellow, and that also went viral. It at least had, it minimum had at least 20 to 30,000 views. That's a lot of views, okay? Like, I have given YouTube like hits, okay? Like good quality videos. And are we getting paid for that? No, not to the standard that we should be getting paid. And I'm not the only YouTuber who's talked about this. You see what I'm saying? And the sad thing about it is if you actually speak out, they're going to try to threaten you. They'll try to play with your channel. So that's why at this point I'm like, either I be authentic and I speak my mind and in a dignified manner, or I'm not going to speak at all. Because to me, I feel like I'm not going to waste my time to talk in code and feel like I'm doing something wrong when I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And this goes for anybody out here. Like, if you're on your own channel, as long as you're not wishing harm on somebody, I think you should be able to speak your mind. Wasn't there another psychic? This is what I'm just hearing. I'm just feeling in my knower. Like, wasn't there a psychic who would like predict things or whatever? Like, she's an actual legit psychic, and didn't they get rid of her account? Was it the TikTok? It was Salone Bella, right? Sloan Bella. I don't really have any personal feelings about her, as most people on the internet. I don't know them personally, so I don't really have a legit say on if they're good or bad, if they're fake or not. But I know that she has that gift. I can tell that she has something, and I think that she had to get a lawyer. Didn't she have to get a lawyer for that or something like that? So guys, this is not normal, okay? Like, none of this is normal. This is not normal, okay? It's very weird when you have watched someone make a career out of tearing people down, and not because of the content of their character, but the color of their skin, their sexuality, the way they live their own life. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen that level of vitriol. And then in the same token, they want us to feel bad for somebody. As Caucasian people have said what I'm saying right now. So because I'm Black, it's not changing the message, right? There's tons of white people in America right now who agree with me, who feel how I feel. Actually, I think the majority feel this way. Personally, I think the majority feel this way. Actually, I think those numbers are cooked, because look at the protests, guys. Look at the protests. Like, look at the protests sizes versus the rallies. Like, we are the majority, and us, the majority, they're trying to silence us. They're trying to put us in a corner. They're trying to have us kiss the ring. And I'm saying, this is not normal, okay? Like, I thought it was interesting how somebody said, isn't it weird how, like, people can be fans of Gavin Newsom and Obama, but, like, nobody wore a hat with his name on it? Like, nobody purposely went out and, like, started a whole cult. Like, nobody worships these people. Like, yeah, they're in government, okay, whatever, so what? Like, they're politicians, okay, cool. And but we don't, like, have their face on a mug. We don't have their name on a, like, we're not obsessed. We're not obsessed people like that. And then here you have a whole fucking way of living that is not normal. Is not, like, mentally okay to do. Like, it's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's showing signs of, like, insanity, and they're normalizing that. But then they don't want us to normalize being nonchalant about somebody passing away that literally just was a bad person. And now even white people are not allowed to do that either. So then we don't have freedom of speech, guys. We don't have it. Like, America, I mean, I know it sounds like dramatic, guys, but I'm trying, as you guys can see by the tone of my voice, I'm not trying to sound dramatic. I'm really not. Like, this is a problem. This is a much bigger problem that we have right now, okay? AI is taking over jobs. AI is surveillancing us. These people that are obsessed with this man and this whole way of, like, thinking, the manosphere, everything. Like, they don't want people to just be happy. They don't want people to just have their own opinion. And that's where, to me, the line is drawn in the sand. Is like, if I can't even have an opinion, then we don't have rights, guys. We don't have rights anymore. Okay? We don't have rights. You know, like if somebody, you know, made a video about how they dislike Obama, I'm not going to report them. I'm not going to shame them. I'm not going to be mad at them, because why? That's their opinion. And if they're dignified enough to not use profanity and not, you know, use threats, then I'm not going to really care what they have to say. But yet, if somebody else does the same thing about Mr. T or Mr. Kirk or anybody else out here, Ben Shapiro, whoever else out here, Candace Owen, who got sued by the president of fucking France because she called his wife a transgender, a man. She called the French president's wife a man. Do you guys see how sick this is? Like, this is not normal. And she's on her show, her little podcast show, Candace Owen, talking about, we're going to see you in court. We're going to win. Win what? You sat up there on a mic, just like Kirk did, and tried to call a woman a man. And if she was a man, what is it to you? What is it to you? What's between her legs? What's under her clothes? Why do you care about that? Why do you care if she's a man, if she was a man? And she's not. But even if she was, or she was anything else, why does it matter? So these people they're not even on the same planet. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, they're not even in reality, guys. Because as an adult, right, she has children. On top of that, right, isn't she married? She has children. She has a husband. Why are you on a microphone? Why are you on a microphone trying to say that someone is a man? Like, you have nothing better to do in your life than call someone a man? Like, how does this make any sense? And we are existing on the internet, in this world, in America. We're under a party that has other people in the party, and out on the outskirts of the party, right? The red party with the red hats, that think it's okay to call a woman a man. And they think they have some kind of moral authority and moral liberty and moral standing to then have to take their money, their time to go to court to try to prove that somebody's not a woman. I don't like that. To me is so, like, the whole thing, guys, is insanity. Like, it makes no sense. Like, yeah, Twilight Zone, that's a good word for it. Yeah, the Twilight Zone. You know, but that's just to summarize what's been happening, right? People in unidentified vehicles, you know, picking people up, you know, and I could prove it. There is a story that was all over the news of a mother and her daughter in was it Santa Monica, California? It was in California, somewhere in California. Could have been Pasadena. Yeah, I think it was Pasadena, California. And her mom dropped her off, and then all of a sudden these cars, these vans came behind her and took her away. And yes, they were Hispanic, and come to find out, they were not illegals. She was actually an American citizen, a US citizen, and it did go to court, and they did win. and they had to release her. So what I'm saying is, this is not the same America, guys. Whatever you believe, what I'm saying is that they're not even checking. They're not even checking. They're not even checking. All they're doing is just rummaging through anything they want to rummage through, reporting, taking people away. Yeah, which is kidnapping. Yeah, it is kidnapping. But, when you say kidnapping, they say that, oh, you can't say that. Well, what can we say? Right? I mean, if I'm in broad daylight and I'm seeing someone get kidnapped, and then you talk about someone getting kidnapped, and then someone says to you, they're not getting kidnapped. How is this? This doesn't make any sense, guys. This does not make any sense. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. And the only word I could think of to explain all this is happening to America. The fall of an empire is hatred. It's hatred, it's control, it's possession, it's authoritarianism, okay? It's trying to be an authority figure that is overstepping their boundaries, crossing a line that does not need to be crossed. I can tell the difference when somebody is posting something and saying something like, you're this and that, this, that, this, that. And to me, if I don't see that, and they're just taking away people's accounts, people are just like the ICE thing, people are literally disappearing, right? Then this is like worse than a lot of stuff that's already happened to us as a country. And I happen to live in America. It wasn't a choice. I was brought over here very young by my parents, but I mean, just the things I've witnessed, like the treatment, like the abuse, like the mental abuse, like just everything is just like insane. Like the way they treat ethnic people in this country is like so disgusting. The way that they're treating women, the way that even Vance talks about women, like even when they were running for election, like they talk so bad about people, and then when people are upset about how they talk about them, they want to shut them down. And I'm saying, like, where's justice, guys? Like, where is the justice? So I don't know what to tell you guys. When I was making all those predictions about, we have 2 years left to leave, and I literally was telling you guys what I felt. But even if you have certain spiritual gifts or you're an intuitive, you don't want to ask to see the worst, right? You don't want to ask to see the worst. You don't want to ask that. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to ask or do whatever to get the worst case scenario. No. In a world, if you have a good heart, you want to see the best case scenario. So for me, I think that we have officially, guys, entered into a point of no return. There may not be any hope left in the near future for America under this regime, because I have never in my life seen so many people attacked for just living, for just loving, for just choosing to be child free. Women who don't want to have children are being called all sorts of derogatory terms they do not deserve. Just everything that's not what they are or could be, they hate. And I don't understand that, because I don't have to be like somebody to not respect them. Somebody could be the complete opposite of me and I don't have any malice towards them. But somebody could be just existing, and they have all this malice. And the worst part is, a lot of times their malice is cultivated in religion, right? you know, the new phrase going around this year is there's no love like Christian hate. That's spot on. Okay. And I was raised in the church from a very young age. So I could definitely give you over 1 in a million examples of that shit. But it's absolutely insane. It's insane. And you know, in regards to that other report that I made earlier, or no, appeal I made earlier with something else, if it doesn't go the way that I feel it will go eventually, I'm not gonna fight for it, because if you can try to silence me and anybody else for just reposting something, for just existing, then what is that? Oh, this is the wrong account. So so for me, I just feel like, you know, I'm not gonna beg, because I'm not gonna try to, you know, fit in where I don't belong. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna try to and this is why, and the reason why I keep saying Caucasian is because that's the litmus test, right? With these people on that side, it's all about that. It's all about how they're living, their quality of life. And I'm telling you guys, if these people, if Caucasian people themselves are saying, I'm out of here, right? I can't do this. Like, diehard conservatives are like, I don't like what's going on, right? Like, the violence, the chaos is just too much. I can't take it. You know, we've crossed into a line now that is barbaric. What's happening is barbaric. This is barbaric. It's barbaric. How we're living in America is barbaric. There is no other country that is behaving like this. You know, it's sad to say. I mean, we had the Catholic school incident, right? That was recently as well. These kids are praying in a Catholic church and their lives are taken. And what I'm saying is, how does this make any sense, guys? I have seen mothers literally like talk to the press and say, we want you to ban these. We want you to, you know, look at my daughter in the face and tell her why her life was not more valuable than this over here. And they do nothing about it. We saw President Obama on the television literally crying. Once again, I don't care if you like him or don't like him. If you believe it's his or not, don't matter. He tried, right? He tried to say, was it Sandy Hook? I don't want more kids to go through this, And because of politics, same thing with Biden, with the student loan forgiveness. Because of politics, the other side did everything to stop the progress. So I'm telling you guys, I don't think anything else we can do. And then at that point on, we have to hope. We have to hope and pray that the rest of the world does not get infected with whatever's going on in America. That is what we have to hope and pray about. So I'm going to screenshot this because 171 are in the room live. And those who are new, just so you know, I had a viral video that I made about Mr. T and Elon earlier this year, and I wasn't properly paid for it. The green symbol, as far as I know, was on there. Like, my monetization was on there. I was talking for like at least 2 hours, probably. I don't even know. But I talked for a long time, basically, okay? And the paycheck that I got did not match my viewership, did not match anything. And that was when I took a step back. For those who don't know, just join. That's why I took a step back, because in my head, I'm like, okay, they're going to try to take people out. Because if you're not going to, like, if you can't validate my viewership and you can't validate people listening to me, you can't validate different opinions on here, then we don't have freedom of anything. It's over. And that goes for everybody, because until we're all free, nobody's free. And that's the truth. And we're in this hellacious, sick cyclone realm, okay, especially America, on a spiritual context. In a spiritual context, there's been people who have clinically died. Okay, just go a little bit deeper, just so you guys get the full picture. They died and have claimed, wait, let me see if my video comes back 1 second. Okay, it's back. Have literally claimed that they have flew over the earth, right? Because they were, let's say, for example, they were in a Texas hospital, they were in a Florida hospital, whatever, and they on paper have proof they clinically died and had a near-death experience, which they call short for NDE, right? Those who know, okay, the spiritual community. And they literally said that when they were seeing the earth, America had this darkish purple energy. It was like a dark aura. And no other part in the world had that but America. And that stuck with me because there's something sinister about this country and the direction in which it's going in. And for me, I don't know if there's a happy ending, guys. I don't know if there's a happy ending. But what I'm not going to do is repeat myself, right? Make a bunch of different videos, all for trolls, all for haters, all for this crazy coup to now ransack all of our accounts and report us and threaten us, bully us, message us, try to intimidate us. I don't know if you guys saw, but there was a lady who was on the I think Congress floor for like 48 hours, and she ended up suing she has to sue, I think, the government because they try to have her sign something. It was with the whole Texas map thing, the whole Texas redrawing the map thing. And a Black woman, she was basically held hostage because she refused to let them surveillance her. So what I'm saying, guys, is this is not even anything that this is just not anything that I can literally control. Like, I don't think that this is something that is even worth our breath anymore. I think that what's done is done. The fact that they can put the flag half staff for this person, but not for the kids that got banged up in a Catholic school, I think speaks for itself. These are kids that are innocently dying. Even today, and I think, was it Colorado or another state? There was another school incident again today. Like, I shouldn't have to come on any of my platforms and have to premeditate times 3 what I'm going to say just because people are haters. I shouldn't have to do that. No one should have to do that. If you're going to talk, then talk, right? But because these people don't want to take no for an answer, they don't want to believe that people don't worship this guy or worship these guys, plural. They're trying to force us, and I don't understand how this can end well. I don't see how it's going to end well. If millions of people are saying, I didn't vote for this guy. I didn't vote for him, right? I didn't vote for him. We didn't vote for this guy, right? We don't believe in what this other guy is saying on this podcast, whatever this show he has. We don't know what he's talking about. And then when we call that out, they're trying to paint us as the bad guys because we don't like bigots. We don't like people who are racist. We don't like people who are sexist. We don't like people who are hateful in nature. There's nothing else we can do. And I'm just gonna be blunt. Like I said on TikTok, I don't sugarcoat nothing. Like, if I feel like something is hopeless, it's hopeless, guys. And, before, when I was telling you guys this was a problem, this was, this is like, I was telling you guys this before all this shit. I was telling you guys, you got 2 years max. You got 2 years to get your passport. You got 2 years. And now it's like a reality. So here's another video that I made. I'll show you guys on TikTok. Look, okay, look at that. Look at it, okay? That's been uploaded for over how many minutes? Over an hour ago. Look at that, okay? That is censorship. Because as you can see, I don't even have his name in the tags. I don't even have, and then other videos that I don't talk about censorship, they're climbing. So, as I said, they don't want people to talk anything, cursing or not, it doesn't matter. They don't want people to show people what's going on out here. And that's why I'm saying to you guys, this is reminiscent of Hitler. It is, because we're being slaughtered emotionally. We're being silenced physically. So it's way worse, guys. It's way, 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 way worse. Okay, sadly, it's way worse than it could have ever been. Why? Because it's not about what you say anymore. It's about, if you're not with us, we're gonna take you out of here. And for the record, we don't even know who the person is or who hired the, we don't even know, nor do I care, because I'm not a part of that, right? Nobody was rooting for that. Nobody wants that, right? Nobody wants that. So the point that I'm making is that this is some devious shit. This is some devious shit going on. And we're all under attack. We're all under attack because, like I said, people can literally have a heart. People, I saw this one white lady on TikTok literally just make a video saying, I am not an ally. I am not going to clap with you. I'm not going to, support this person. Stop messaging me. Stop. People were threatening her. People were sending messages, and she has proof of this. People were messaging her, threatening her. And all she did was make a video saying, stop threatening me. Stop threatening me. I don't support bigots. I don't support racists. I don't support whatever agenda that he was going on with. I don't, a white woman, a regular, nobody knows her, not a celebrity, a regular lady posting on TikTok. And they silenced her. They tried to take her video down. So what I'm saying is, before, when they silenced black and brown folk, you're going to expect that, right? When they're trying to silence a black and brown person, you're going to expect that, right? You expect that. Of course you expect that. But when it comes to now, you have white brothers and sisters who are saying, I'm not a hateful person. I don't want to be a part of this. I don't want to be a part of this agenda. Now they're getting targeted. So I'm saying they don't care, guys. I can't make it any clearer. They don't care. There is something evil and darker and deeper than what we all know. And before I get off of here, I'll make a final, because listen, I have a lot of views, but I'm not expecting to get paid, because I know how YouTube is. I've already learned that they don't unless it's what they want you to talk about and how to talk about it, they don't want to support you. It's rare. So I don't have false hope. Basically, I don't have false hope. I don't expect them to let people be free, because we're not free, guys. We're not. America, like I said, I have been posting online for over a decade. And I had that particular Twitter account for over a decade. And it's never been like this. And I'm sitting here as a US citizen who was brought to this country at a very young age without consent. I was too young to back out of that. I was a child, now living in America as a young adult, and I'm saying this is not okay. And I should not be ashamed or scared to come on any video, to post anything, to repost. I should not be suppressed like that. None of us should. And the fact that we have to be so careful and so calculated and so precise shows that we are not in a free society. We're not living in the America that once was. That America looks like it's gone, guys. It's gone. So I genuinely don't know. It's got to a point now where the corruption, the manipulation, the lies, the deceit is so in your face. Another example, I literally made a video telling you guys that they were gonna the whole plot is to have these robots take over our jobs, which they are. And I literally, you can go back and look at my page and you'll see this video. If they didn't take it down, it should still be there. I literally made a video telling you guys that in the restaurants, they're gonna try to get automation in restaurants where instead of having a person be a cook, they want to have a robot be a cook. And what do you know? What do you know? Mr. Elon Musk opened up a diner in California with what? Robots. Robots serving food. Robots taking orders. That was less than a month between when I made the prediction that these kind of people in power that are predominantly have the same kind of look and the same kind of attitude, the same kind of ideology on that side of the aisle, they're trying to get rid of us. This is like the end of the world, like the end times, like in the Bible. Like, I don't know, it seems pretty close to me. But long story short, guys, this is it. Okay. And I surprised myself. I've always surprised, for those who've been with me for years and years and years, and I pray that we'll be here for more years. I mean, with the way everything is going, I don't know. We would hope that maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a new CEO. I don't know if they're going to buy out. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But I know it ain't good. It ain't looking good. It ain't looking promising. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna try to manifest a positive reality, a beautiful community with you all. But I don't know. I don't think there's anything, like, we're too far gone, man. We're too far gone. Like, America is like way too far gone. Like, they're too far gone. We have people who literally, before they ask you your name, they want to know if you're Hispanic or if you're black or where are you from. Like, they're so crazy. Like, do you know when you go to other countries, they don't even act like that? Even in Europe, people have so much shit talk about Europe. Like, a lot of European countries do not care, do not behave like that. It's about how you conduct yourself. It's about how you carry yourself. It's about, are you a good, decent person? Are you a diligent worker? Are you contributing to society? They don't, the first thing they don't do is judge you because you're black, right? Or because you're a woman or because you're a lesbian. Like, that's not what they do. I'm not saying they're perfect, but I'm just saying a lot of countries don't behave like that. And America is obsessed with that. Everything is about race. Everything's about sexuality. Everything's about procreating. It's this really weird, concept of reducing people to what you do. And if you don't do what I do, then I don't want you. And what I'm saying is, this is dangerous territory, guys. This is like really, really dangerous territory. And I want you guys to know that when they don't honor my paycheck and when they don't honor my views, they're lying on y'all. I want you to really mentally get that. When they twist numbers, when they twist the data, they're trying to discredit you guys. Because if you go to any other person's channel and they're talking like this and you agree or not, and you're just, watching just to watch, by them manipulating the numbers, as they did with the election with Starlink, when they manipulate the data, what they're saying is, you don't matter. I don't want you to matter. Let's erase you. Let's make you irrelevant. That's what it says to me. So it's not even about the money per se. That early in the year, it was to me that you're trying to discredit my audience. You're trying to say that's not real because it's too high. So because of views, the views are too high on a Black woman's YouTube channel, it must be fake. It can't be real. It has to be that she paid somebody. Why is that? But then you have people talking about this Kirk guy or whatever, who are probably big fans of his. I bet they're not challenging them. And if they are, that's equally wrong, because why are you doing that? Why are you trying to question us, right? Why are you not honoring people's views? Why are you not honoring people's interests? Why is the algorithm being skewed like this? Why is things being played with, is what I'm saying. So it's trying to discredit the truth. That's what it is. You're trying to, like, it's like right now, let's say for example, okay, I'll just give a real life example. Let's say for example that people could see 156, okay, 100 plus people are in the room live, okay, right? You could see it, right? Let's just say if this video, this live stream was done, which they've done before to me, which they've done before to me, and I really need to investigate, because honestly, at this point, guys, like this is theft, you know, and it's wrong, and it's manipulation. You know what I'm saying? It's something is wrong. Like, so let's say for example, I end the live, and the viewership says 2 people only saw the video, or even more, which what they've done before is put zero views. So that's what they do. So let's say for example you've had even 100 views, and then you come out the video and it says 2 people saw the video. Only 2 people, 2 out of the 100 clicked on the, that's a lie. So I ask you guys, if they can lie about that, what else are they lying about? What else are they lying about, guys? An election per se? The midterms per se? What else can they twist? Because to me, that's crazy. And no, it's not an error. And no, it's not a glitch. If it happens more than once, it ain't no damn glitch. That's on purpose. That's on purpose to get you discredited. That is by design, to shut you up, to falsely flag somebody, to falsely report somebody, to try to call somebody a male, when they're a woman, is to try to discredit them. That's what it is. So I don't know, guys. I genuinely don't know. But this has been a test, you know, because for me it's like, because I have this intuitive gift, right? I have these different spiritual gifts, so I can see beyond, right? I could see beyond. And it's like, you don't want these bad things to be true, right? You don't want these bad things to be true. But when it keeps happening and it's on a daily, consistent basis, you don't know how else to feel, you know? You're like, man, am I really going to have to jump ship because this country is going to hell in a handbasket? Or am I going to, you know, go to a different state? Like you try to, like, people I'm sure other people can relate, because I know other people can relate out here. I've seen on TikTok, they can relate. Like, you try to rationalize. You try to find another way. And then when you see things like this, and they want to have the flag half staff for him, but not for kids that their lives have been taken, and they're not a part of the KKK. They're not a part of these nationalist groups. What can you really say? So I know a couple lawyers. I'll put it that way. I know a couple lawyers. And I have taken a step back for that reason as well, because to me, I feel like this may get to a point, guys, where like legally, some shit's not right. You see what I'm saying? Because because to me, what is this? Recovery. I gotta look into that too. Yeah, and lots of hackings, right? Just last what you call it? What was it? Last week and this week too, I got a call about somebody trying to go into an account or something like that. And I called it. It was like it was a British person, funny enough, but their number was based, I think, in Canada. And I said, they said, call the number if you didn't request this information. So I called it, right? And I'm like, this wasn't me. So then I see in the news that there's all these data breaches. So all of a sudden, right, coincidentally, not coincidentally, all of a sudden, because of this person in the White House, all these countries hate us and they're breaking into our data and they're stealing our information. I've never had that problem, guys. I've never ever got a call or email about anybody trying to get into any account, especially not a crypto thing. Like, I've never had that happen. I actually just checked the email. It was actually I know with the companies, I'm going to call them later, but I mean, what I'm saying is, what I'm really saying is that America's in trouble. Okay? And I don't know, guys. I honestly don't know if there's any way out of this. You know, I don't think there is. And I genuinely feel like they're trying to set people up. And they're trying to make people feel bad for having free will, for having their own opinion, for having their own mind. And to me, I just feel like this matrix is over. It's over. It's crumbling. The archaic structures that kept this up for so long are done. And because they're done, they're mad about it. And that's what's sad, because they can't accept that those days are over, right? Like slavery was supposed to be over, right? But the national federal wage hasn't moved. Salaries don't match the cost of living. The data has proven by multiple mainstream channels that this generation, Millennial and Gen Z, are the two generations that are far worse than their predecessors, than their parents. Boomers are in a better spot than two whole plus generations. The average person, 30 years old, married, has a house, is the lowest, lower than the Great Depression. And that is a fact, not an opinion. It's a fact. And it's on every mainstream website, channel, you name it. You look it up. You can go on Google right now and put average home buyer age is like in the 40s. So back in the day, the average home buyer age in America was 26. Same thing for marriage, was actually kind of, sorry, for giving birth was a little bit lower than that. Now the average age of a home buyer is in their 40s. That is diabolical. And taking that into account, that most women that do want to have kids and are fertile to have kids and can have kids want to have kids before they're 40 years old, that shows a clear connection between the low birth rate, lack of jobs, good paying jobs, lack of people being able to have a house. It's all connecting. So you can't look at the facts and say it's not real because you don't like it. The facts are the facts. The facts are the facts. So for me, I'm disgusted and leaning on God and having good friends and having good company and people that, support you, believe in you, love you is what matters. I would encourage you all to take care of yourselves. Like I said, when I'm not on here uploading, and especially in this climate right now, I don't even know I don't even know how to normally upload when things are this bad, to be frank with you. I don't even know, like a lot of times when I want to upload for you guys, I'm like, I don't even know where to begin because it's so bad. Like it's so bad that I don't even know what to do. Like I would sit there and just stunned beside myself. So because I can't believe that one person can do this much damage. And then people stand behind him, beside him, cheering him on while we're all in the trenches. People are making the most money they've ever made in their life. And because the cost of living doesn't match the salary, it's like someone could be making 100K and feel like living on 40K or even 20K because taxes, which is also another scam on the working class, right? Robbery again, right? Billionaires don't pay taxes. Mr. T didn't pay taxes, but we have to pay the tax. So I'm just telling you guys, if you look at it as a whole, the shit is fucking rigged. It's bullshit, guys. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. There's not anything that I see that can change this unless it's a collective thing, unless it's the whole freaking 90% of America saying we're gonna do a general strike. We're not gonna keep being subjected to this. Unless it's something like that, I don't think it's gonna change, guys. And maybe that's what people need to hear is that, it's not gonna change for a while, right? If he completes this entire term, by the time he's done with us and done with America, I mean, the bankruptcies are already through the roof. This year alone has been the highest level of bankruptcies. Like they said that the unemployment is worse than the first year of COVID, the first term and 2 years of COVID. We're worse now than then. And it's the same person. Same person. So what I'm saying is, there's nothing that I feel can honestly be done. At least not like lightly, is what I'm trying to say. There's nothing that I see that can be done unless it's a complete like uproar, sick and tired, walking off like and people, let me tell you, Americans are going to continue to leave America. And once again, for the red hats, it's not a conspiracy. This is facts. I've had at least 4 neighbors who are homeowners leave. And I keep seeing these like moving trucks. And then I get word that, oh, they went here, they went there. I'm like, they're leaving, guys. People are leaving America. So that's not a lie. Another family friend, he's in the age of like when most men get married, you know what I'm saying? Like most men settle down. He went to Guyana, you know what I'm saying? He not just left the state, he went to Guyana. Some are going to Europe, some are going to Asia, some are going to Africa. They're out of here, guys. The Caribbean, they're going back home to the Caribbean. They're out of here. And these are people who contribute to the whole, these are people who work professional jobs, degrees, Don't even have to have a degree to be professional, right? Because that's kind of outdated now too. But to their standard of what they think is acceptable, they got it going on. They got the degree, they got the paycheck, they got the car, the expensive car, they got it. And after what he's done, they're like, I'm out of here. Because why? The drama, the sleeplessness, the insomnia, the anxiety, the tension, the racial tension, the discrimination, the sexism, the lies, right? Sorry, guys. I told her not to call me. So, once people take into account all that shit, they say, you know what? I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm out. Deuces. And that's where I've been at, guys. But it's been, I'm not going to lie, it's been a lot to mentally say, wow, like, this is it. I'm going to take my talent, take my money, take my life. Like, I'm going to hit the road because this dictator is destroying this country. And there's nothing that anyone's doing that I see for now that's going to stop it, you know? And the political climate is just too toxic. Like the American politics is like very, 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 very toxic, guys. So anyway, you know, that is my over an hour video because I've not given you guys a video in a while. I missed you guys deeply. I really miss coming on here. But there was so many things happening at once that it was just like, you know what, this is just crazy. Like this is actually very, very stressful. And I don't like stress. I don't like drama. So whenever I see that coming towards me, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm steering clear because I'm like, listen, I gotta take care of my health. And you know what they say about, ethnic people, especially Black women, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to put ourselves first. We can't let this world drive us insane. We can't let this world make us not be able to sleep, not be able to function, not be able to eat. Some people, guys, are so into stress, they're not even eating properly. You know how many videos I've seen of people talking about how they can't sleep at night because they're so scared of the future? Like, that's not normal, guys. I've never lived in America in 2+ decades of living in America. I've never heard anybody, this many people, say how they're just scared for their life. They're scared for their grandkids' future. They're uncertain of what is gonna come. But what is gonna come, they feel, is so terrifying that they're not functioning. And to me, when it gets to that point, you have to walk away. Some area of your life has got to give. You've got to put your health first. You've got to take your liberty, your peace of mind back and say, you know what? They're trying to mess me up. They're trying to get me upset. I'm not going to fall for it. And that's that. And that's a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like people that, especially people that earn money, like like above average money, and you've been having a hard time, you can leave. You know what I'm saying? As long as they're not gonna stop us or stop you while you still can. One second, I gotta refresh the page. Hold on, because it's buffering. But while you can get out of here, you know what I'm saying? If you have kids as well, you could do that. So don't let anybody, confuse you. Okay? If staying off social media makes you feel better, and you feel better about just not being a part of certain conversations or certain things, then that's what's gonna have to be. Not every headline I see, I come on here and tell you guys. You guys can see that. I mean, I would love to, right? But it gets to a point where, like, is this going to be worth my energy? Is this worth me getting upset about? And a lot of times the answer is no. So when I was able to come on here like today and talk to you guys, it's because I made that time. I dedicated this hour, over an hour and a half, or hour and 20 something minutes plus, to tell you guys, like, listen, we are in a zone that is mind-boggling. And I don't know if it can be fixed, you know, if it can be salvaged. I don't know. It's gonna take probably a decade, I think. I've seen people that are historians say that after all of this, it may take you know, a decade or two or three or four or five, you know, and by the time that happens, we'll be dead, because you add 50 years to 40 years, to those who are 40 or 50 or plus, even 35 plus, you may not be alive by then. So, and all that time living in America, you're going to be in agony. I'm not going to be in agony, guys. I'm telling you right now. I love myself. Let me tell you this. I love myself too much to stay in a toxic environment or a toxic platform, which means when you're good and ready and when you feel comfortable, you come to the table, right? But if you don't feel good and ready and you don't feel comfortable, you don't give energy. Simple. Like, there's been times where I wanted to come online, but I feel like, nah, I get a weird vibe, or no, you know, like, I don't have the full story, so I'm not going to speak on it. Like, you have to be very discerning, guys. You got to use your discernment as to when to speak on things and when not to speak on things. You see what I'm saying? So, I missed you guys dearly, and I wish it wasn't this way. And we're all being surveillance, we're all being watched, we're all being terrorized, basically. And the only way that I see out is leaving. To be frank with you, I don't see any other way to get out of this. Do you guys have any other options? Any other? Because I don't. Does anybody out here have any other suggestion besides leaving the country? I cannot find a good alternative. I've thought of, you know, going to different state that maybe has more of, you know, the needs that I need, you know what I'm saying? The community, the way of thinking, because, you know, you want to be safe, you want to be in a safe environment. And even then I'm just like, I'm stumped. I'm like, I don't think that's going to make much of a difference. Like, this is just, we're beyond the peril, guys. We're beyond it. So everybody with a good heart and a pure heart that's been able to listen to this video and watch this video, I don't want you to suffer. Let me tell you personally, I don't want you to suffer. And if you feel like your life's in danger and you feel like this is it, then you got to have an exit plan. Okay? You know, I wasn't really planning to bring this up in this video, but I just feel like it's on my heart. Like, it's like there is a whole other world out there that is not just America. America is not the only country. And I think that people are beginning to kind of wake up, you know, like even Disneyland. Like, everybody kind of thought of Disneyland like being in Orlando or being in California. And then you look at the world, you're like, wait, there's in Paris, there's Disneyland in Asia. Like, we're like, why are we so limited, guys? Like, the same things we have in America are even better other places. Like, I've seen so many success stories and videos of people that have successfully made their way out of America, and they're glowing. And I'm not saying it's easy, because it's not, but if you feel called to leave, then you're gonna have to get serious. I had this conversation with somebody in a cafe the other day. I was picking up some food. I was sitting on this table, and this girl was on her phone. And we just kind of struck up a conversation waiting for our food. And she was talking about, you know, where she wants to retire. And I said to her, one second, I've been talking for a while. That's how much I love you guys. I've been talking for a while. I told her, I'm like, if you're really serious, if you're really about my life, to get to settle somewhere else, you gotta get active now. You gotta apply for the visas now, the citizenships now. You have to make moves now, because there may not be another chance, guys. I mean, I don't want to, I'm trying not to spook anybody, but like, if there's ever a day where we cannot leave this country, you have to ask yourself if you want to be here or not. I know I don't, okay? Some people are born and raised here, so I'm, naturally they probably would want to be here, and that makes sense to me. I mean, they have everybody, like I said, thousands of different views are with millions of people. People have different opinions about different things. So to me, that's a personal prerogative, a personal choice. And I have heard, and yeah, guys, I'm painting back there, so just don't mind that I'm changing my whole bedroom color. Yeah, if you can see that. Little DIY next to my vanity. But yeah, I've spoken to people, and they're like, oh, I would love to do this, but I don't know how to. And I'm like, if you don't know how, and you want to get started, you're gonna have to start from now. You're gonna have to get yourself together from now. And it's not going to be easy for everybody. And for most people, it's not easy. Even if financially everything is Gucci, to take your stuff, your belongings here to there, wherever you go to, is a lot of work. The documents, the pre-approval, the housing, everything, your way of, guys, your way of life is going to change. Okay, if you're somebody watching me and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, like I'm not gonna be in America, like hear me when I say, like, your entire life is gonna change, guys. Your whole way of existing is gonna change. So just understand that, like, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, you have to prep for that. And I think that's the point that I'm at, is like I'm literally prepping for, like, deciding, like, where's it going to be? What am I going to do? Like the next 5-10 years, because that's how serious this is. And granted, not everybody feels this way, right? Some people don't feel this way. They don't. And so people have to kind of make their own big boy, big girl decisions, right? So anyway, y'all, it's been fun. Life goes on with or without social media, with or without, the world being concerned for us. We still have to live and get up and pay bills and survive. And this is a turning point. Absolutely. This is a very, very pivotal point in American history, in our lives. And it's sad all the way around. People that are, near retirement age, who had to survive the pandemic, young kids going to high school, didn't get to have a high school experience, people that were going off to college like myself, most of your years in college is on lockdown. I mean, it is a tragedy. It's a tragedy for all of us. And it breaks my heart that we have to live like this, that we've had to survive. I mean, it's almost like being gone is better. It's almost like, the Bible talks about, in the last days, people will envy the dead. The Bible talks about that, how the days will be so wicked, so cruel, so just awful, that the people alive will be jealous of the dead because of how bad it gets. And if that book stands corrected as it's looking like it is, we're in for a ride, guys. And if you can have to still pay bills and live life, and you can do all that somewhere else and not pay what you're paying, and save your money and retire early and retire on time even, then do it. Especially people in our age bracket, like those of you watching on here that are Gen Z and millennial, like, you have to plan for this. Don't expect your parents to do it for you. Don't expect your parents to help you either. If your parents haven't helped you already, they may not ever do it. It's not your parents' responsibility to come to tell you that if you are going to get fucked in the next 15 years of your life, that you have to have a plan. I've not waited on any sibling, any relative, anybody to come tell me nothing. I have felt all of this. I have taken this on my shoulders, my back, right? In reality. And I'm like, I don't approve of this. I don't want to be a part of this, right? I don't want to be under this, what it is. I don't. So, it takes dedication to yourself, to your dreams, to your well-being. It takes digging your heels in, okay? And having a legit plan. And if you don't have an idea, right? If you don't have an idea of what you're going to do, start today. Start tomorrow. Start over the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like anything, right? Like figure it out, you know, because if one person can do it, then we all can. And I personally, you know, have had people reach out to me that are, you know, really, really nice, like really nice. And they've told me, you know what I'm saying, about you know, where they're at. They've shared, like they have videos. They have their you know, they respond to everybody's comments, especially on TikTok. So TikTok is a really good platform for that. And you can ask them any question, and if you're, you know, if you know how to communicate, like they'll tell you what they do. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you how they got that job. They'll tell you how they made it from here to a whole other country. You know, people are doing this every day. Think about it. There's an American every single day that's boarding a plane to get the hell out of Dodge. And if you want that life and you're serious, one day one day that can be you. That could be you out there that's getting ready to board that plane and get the hell out of here. That could be you. So don't underestimate determination. Don't underestimate the human spirit. Don't underestimate God, because God is not here to hurt you. God is not here to punish you. God is here to love you. And when you know that God is for you, who could be against you? So I love you all. Thank you for watching. I really hope that things get better. You know, it's sad that it's come to this. It's very sad it's come to this. But this is a reality. And I think it's better that people, you know, brace for impact and take heed of people that are credible. I mean, people that have been talking online I mean, I've been here for years, you know, giving warnings, like literally for years. So there's many of us out here like this who can see beyond, and they like myself, they genuinely want what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's up to you at the end of the day. But you know, God forbid something break out, man. Like, God forbid there's a war again. Like, I don't know. I don't know if how many people are gonna survive that, you know? I don't know. But we all have to make our decisions, guys. We all have to really think about it. You know, like, are you, like, if war breaks out, right? If war breaks out, are you willing to stay here? Do you want to stay here? Are you safe? Are you around people who are gonna, in a time of crisis, give you food, give you water, give you shelter? You know, do you have survival skills? Right? Do you have that? And if you don't, get to work, right? There's books, there's free YouTube videos on how to start a fire, how to cook from scratch, how to survive in a desert. I mean, even a forest. I mean, it sounds cuckoo, but like, this is real shit, guys. I'm so sad to say this, but like, this is just, we are in the wrong timeline, okay? We are in the wrong timeline. And I know that I made a video about that. I remember I made a video about that. I told you guys, like, when she did not get that presidency, I told you guys, I said, this is it. Like, there's no coming back, because the path in which it takes is so different, you know. Like Bashar, some people don't like him, but he's legit, okay? He's definitely legit. Like Bashar, you know, spoke about that as well. He was saying, like, you know, this person leads to this, and you know, and the woman leads to that. And you know, he told people, like there's so many people that are like in the spiritual community who are credible, who have been doing this for decades, who are warning people, like, please, take this seriously, you know, because there may not be a chance to get out of here. So we're being watched, censored, bullied, harassed, silenced, oppressed, repressed, suppressed, and that's the reality. And it's only going to be people who can adapt and be flexible and be willing to get along with other people and have a level of skills emotionally and otherwise that's going to get them through the dark times. You're going to have to know how to, as Jay-Z said, move in a room full of vultures. That's a skill. It's a skill to know how to move in a room full of vultures. And if there's any time that's been exhibited, it's now. So everybody, please take care of yourselves. Not just spiritual in the sense of, you know, predictions and tools and no. Like, you have to know that you know for yourself. Like, moving forward, guys, you have to know, like, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. You have to know that for yourself. No one can convince you, right? But if you are ever in a crisis, as those poor people were in the Twin Towers when 9/11 happened, and today's 9/11, what do you think that they did in their last moments? Were they trying to go on the phone to gossip? No. Were they trying to put in an order for a basket of roses? No. If they were smart in that crisis, they were calling upon the name of the Lord. They were calling upon God to help them. And by sheer luck, and it is luck, okay? Because I believe in luck and I believe in blessings. I'm just gonna put this in this video because it's on topic. I have seen many survivor stories of from 9/11 of people who were in the most crucial levels of either the South or the North Tower, which means the plane could went like either the floor above, floor below. Like, I've heard it all. Okay, I have heard it all. And you know what I've heard that a lot of the survivors have in common is God. And I'm not trying to offend any atheists out here. If you're an atheist, you're welcome here, okay? But I'm just telling you, from my perspective, what I would give any dear friend, right? If you're an atheist, it's then use the word optimism, okay? Replace the word God for optimism if you're an atheist watching, because I want to be inclusive here. But in their sense, they said they called upon God, and it wasn't their physical knowledge, guys. It was a higher intelligence, right? If you want to make it that way. It was a higher intelligence that intercepted their minds and showed them a way to get out. you know, and a lot of these, if you, I mean, if you're curious, a lot of those stories will show you about the courage and the heart and the spirit of us, because these people could have given up, or they could have pressed on. They could have been prepared, or they could have been without. You know, there was stories of women and people who were not the healthiest, and they lived a life of just overconsumption, not that it's a bad thing, but they were not like prepared. And I remember there was at least two or three stories I heard where firefighters and people try to come up and help them, and they literally could not do it because they were not fit. They not just emotionally, but physically, they were like, I cannot carry on, because they had to go down so many flights of stairs, because there was this whole thing about the elevators, right? With the Twin Towers, there was this whole thing about some people were trying to get on, and then others, when they got on, it was limited. So some people were left behind. So when you're in a tragic environment, a toxic environment, a scary situation, shit gets real very quickly. And I think, and I could feel that's what's happening with America. Is like, we're in the thick of it, right? We're like in the belly of the whale. And when you feel that pressure, when you feel that heat, you have to have something supernaturally to protect your mind, to preserve you, because if not, you're going to perish. You're going to perish. It's that simple. You have to be a quick thinker. You got to be on your feet. You got to be flexible, guys. Okay? You hear what I'm saying? So take that example into the mental sphere. When you see somebody who can carry somebody, or a couple people, or a couple items, and a person and themselves, run down 40 flights of stairs, because if they didn't go down those damn stairs, they would be dead. That was what it was for some people. If they did not stick their chests out and get for real, they were gonna die in that building. They were gonna perish. And there was other people who could not make it, because why? They didn't persevere. They had a condition. Some people, it wasn't their fault. So they were left behind, right? But there was other people who know they couldn't do it, but they reached out. They dared to reach out. They dared to say, help me, help me, help me, right? And it's the same mentality that we in America and the world with this crisis have to have, guys. We have to have the spirit of, either you're gonna do it yourself and you're gonna just go down this flight of stairs and race the bottom, or you're gonna take people with you. You're gonna be a hero, or a combination, You may be a hero halfway, and maybe halfway the person says, I can't do it, and you gotta let it go. That's reality. This is reality, guys. And that's what I feel. This country is on fire. We're in trouble. And there's only a couple exit routes. You get me? There's only a couple passages. They're smoky. They're dark. It's clouded, right? But you have to figure it out. Because if not, you're going to die. You're going to perish. You're going to be stuck. You're going to be left behind. You're going to get caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. And such is life. So it's not fair. It's never fair. Just for the record, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair that somebody was on the second floor and somebody working hard to pay their bills was on the 90th floor. And sadly, the plane went at an angle in which they couldn't get out. Is life fair? No, life is not fair. Life is never fair. But as a human species, right? As humanity, it is our duty to learn from the past. That is all of our obligation, is to learn from others' mistakes, to learn, to grow, to evolve, to be better people. You know what I'm saying? So now when you see these high-rise buildings, my hope is that they got parachutes in there, right? My hope is they have these windows where you can crack the window open and slide down. Because when that tragedy happened, because today's 9/11 and we're talking about 9/11 now, they didn't have that opportunity. The way the building was structured, the foundation, right? Check what I'm saying. The foundation, the way it was structured, they couldn't get out. They could not get out because why? The foundation, the structure was faulty. It was broken. It was shattered. It was cracked. So this is how it happens, guys. This is how tragedy happens. It starts slow. First term, builds up. Second term, right? This is how it happens. Drip, 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 and then before you know it, the whole place is flooded. How many states have been flooded just this year alone? Like 8? I have never seen so many floods in my life. I have never seen so many floods in America in my life. So it's not just survival. It's a human spirit that I want us to understand here. It's about how you feel, what you believe about God and yourself. And for those of you who don't believe in a God, then you could say how you feel about the universe, how you feel about humanity, how you feel about civilization, right? How are we going to improve it? How are we going to get out of this? How are we going to turn this ship around? How are we going to get back to the safe shore? How are we going to get out of this pit of despair? How are we going to do it? Individually, we all have to do our part, is how I see it. And to be frank with you, some may go and some may stay. You know, some people may stay in America, others will go. And we have to respect everybody's decision. I respect everybody's decision. Whether I'm here or not, I will still be in the know, and I will still be wanting what's best for this country, because America has a lot of potential, and sadly it's being wasted. It's being tarnished. So you know, when those people were in that building and they knew that their chance of getting out was slim, that's a good analogy for life. Is nobody makes it out of life alive. Like, nobody does. Even if you survive that, like, you still have to fight to see another day. You know, like, this is not like reality. Like, life is not like what it seems. And I think that we all know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, on a spiritual level, like, it's a lot of testing. It's a lot about like trying to find what works, what fits, what, you know, and it's a lot of trial and error, basically, you know. So if you believe in God, you'll believe that God did his best with us, with making us, right? If you believe in a God or a God creation, then, you know, on a certain level spiritually, you want to believe that there is a better way, you know. But life is not perfect, and life is not fair, and When you have something good, when you're able to, latch onto something that brings you joy, makes you happy, puts a smile on your face, you do the best you can to cherish it until you have to let go. And that's with everything in life. When I had my dog pass away last year, I was more emotionally affected than I thought, because I think the night before she transitioned, she was glowing. She was glowing. And I knew that there was something different about her. And even when you see people that die in plane crashes, and people that die from these different weird, tragedies, if they're able to have a picture, if you see a picture of them, a lot of times before they go, they have this glow about them. They have this like a supernatural glow about them. And so if you do believe that there is something more than this, you can research that. I think that ties into this topic as well. But for those who don't believe in that, I don't blame you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's if you can't see it, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of hard to believe, but manifestation is believing before seeing, by the way. Like, manifestation is to believe it's possible before it manifests. That's what faith is. So that's what God is, I think, really, because we can't see it. He is supposed to be in everything, right? But we don't see it. Some people do in dreams, they have supernatural experiences, but that we're not getting into that. We're just saying in general, right? Like you question, you ask, you say, why this, why that, why is life this way? Why is this person this way? Why do they act this way? And a lot of times, guys, what I've learned in life is you can't fight every battle, and you can't always get an answer as to why people do what they do, because sometimes they don't want you to know, or you have to kind of trust that if like I said, if you believe that there's a better energy protecting you, fighting for you, loving you, then you're not going to be offended. Like if something is done to you that's unfair, and it's unfair, for those who believe, right, you pray about it, right? You pray about it. You say, God, what's going on, right? But then if you don't feel like praying, then I guess you just try to put your head down and dig your heels in and figure it out. But this life thing is weird. Life is very strange, guys, and a lot of tragedies that happen to people, or even a country, like war. All these wars happen. Sometimes there's really no good enough explanation for the carnage. Like you could hear in a million different ways why this person did this, and why they invaded, and you know what? It may not ever be good enough. It may not ever atone for the pain that somebody's had to go through losing a loved one. It may never add up. I couldn't, when, like I said, back to my dog, like when she passed, it was almost like I was saying to myself, like, man. And of course, being an intuitive, I had different feelings, leading up to it. I had this weird feeling, and I was like, oh, I hope that's not what it is. And then that's what it was. That's what it turned out to be. But even when you have the spiritual gifts, even when you have premonition, even when you have intel, sometimes it's still not going to satisfy the flesh, because the flesh is never satisfied. That's why being a spiritual person is so important for these dark times we're living in, because a lot of times there's not going to be enough explanation to justify what's happened to people. Sometimes it's never going to do. And a part of being mature, and a part of loving yourself and loving God, is giving it up to a higher power. That's just from my experience, that can take care of it. If you try to put on every problem on your head, if you try to figure out every little, how you're going to do this, how you're going to manifest it, if you try to figure out every nook and cranny of your life, you are going to be a very, 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 very stressed out person. And that's not healthy. That's not healthy, guys. So when you get overwhelmed, as many people are overwhelmed right now, when you get tired, sick and tired of something, you have to have a way of offloading that energy, whether it's, for example, meditation, or reading a book, listening to music. But you have to have some kind of outlet, or your body is going to go into overdrive. Your mind is going to go into overdrive. That's why people that have insomnia, they're up all night because they're thinking too much. They can't turn their mind off. They can't turn the stream of thoughts from pouring in their head. They can't let it stop. They're not letting it stop. So I will just say to anybody, you have to keep your head up. And, we may witness tragedy, that's kind of like a no-brainer. We may go through, perilous times, but in my research, the difference is God. And I will proudly say that. And nothing to do with religion. I'm just saying, like, the only way sometimes that things will turn around is divine intervention. Like, for real. Like, and if it's not divine intervention, then it's luck. And if it's not luck, it's damn good strategy. It's one of the three or all the above. And that's what people really need to realize, is that there is just some things that the human mind and the human spirit cannot comprehend. And we have to have a way to let it go, or we're going to get sick. We're going to be boggled down with bad news and bad headlines. And we can't live this way, guys. We can't, as a species, we cannot continue to live this way. We have to evolve higher. We have to go higher than this. Okay? We don't have a choice. Like, we actually don't have a choice at this point. We have to evolve past the bullshit, or as a species, we're not going to have a successful future. And the world is a reflection of the people in it, right? The ideals in it, the character in it. Our world is a reflection of the people in it and how bad or good they have taken care of this planet. If you treat the planet poorly, you can't expect it to be bountiful when you treat it like crap. So a lot of things that, humans have done to each other, to the planet, is self-inflicted. And until we get to that point where we realize that this is not okay, and we want to start over, we want to have a better tomorrow, then it's not going to change. And maybe, just maybe, we're going to have to be in a pit of despair, at least in America, that's not going to be easy to get out of. It may be very, 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 very difficult. And that's why I'm saying to you guys, okay? That's why I'm saying to you guys, are you willing to stay here? Those who can financially move, like, do you want to stay here? Are you equipped? Are you mentally prepared? Like, are you ready? Are you ready? Because it's coming. It's coming. And you're going to have to really buck up, because this is not going to be smooth sailing. For the most part, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be cute. It's going to be very, 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 very hard. And on a spiritual level, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you believe in, like, a lot of Dolores Cannon's teachings, on a spiritual level, she spoke about this, the volunteers, right? The second, third wave. Like, she's like, there's tons of spiritual teachers who've already broken this down. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know who I'm talking about, a couple of them at least. And they tell you, like, this is a volunteer program. Like, you volunteered for this. Somehow, some way, they claim that we volunteered for this shit. So we got to figure it out. We're here. We can't go back. We got to complete it until, you know, the day it's done. And we're here to stay, guys. We're all, as long as you're alive, you gotta make some tough choices, man. You know. So my heart is with us all. I hope that this was able to enlighten somebody, and I'm happy that I was able to give you guys my full perspective, not just the headline. I mean, my deepest feelings on this, because if I was to make a video of every little headline, you know, I would never get nothing done. You know, I wouldn't get shit done. So I still have to, I mean, I have my own life, my own bills, my own everything. So I still have to, you know, be grounded in this reality, and do what I can. But man, I will just tell you, people are suffering. And in my experience, like I said, the common denominator of people who survived is they included God. They talked about God. They said, I prayed. Even one lady, I remember listening to her. Excuse me. I remember one lady I listened to, her story of how she survived the Twin Towers. And she literally said that she had a black angel. And I'm not making this up. Like, there was a black lady who literally like tapped her on her shoulder and was like, let's go this way. And the other way, it was already burned up, but she didn't know. But she prayed. She prayed. And she made it out. And she's still alive to this day. She's like well in her 60s. So anyway, y'all, take it or leave it. You know, I'm just telling you guys what I've seen work for me and other people. All right. So I'm getting off here. Love you guys. Bye. Take care.